We're coming up on the spooky season. What's the trashiest / most eyebrow raising sexy costume you've ever seen? Saw a very large co-worker on his way to a party. Flesh-toned long johns with a massive dildo hanging out the fly and a shabby overcoat. Walked around flashing everybody so fast they weren't sure it wasn't real. Buddy of mine dressed up as Bill Cosby and his wife would pretend to be unconscious with a pudding in her hand. Halloween 2001. At a party, a couple showed up as Bin Laden and a sexy flight attendant with a slit throat. I would say it was too soon, but I don't know if it'll ever be appropriate. My wife and I went as Kevin Federline and Britney Spears one year. This was during their trashy phase. She even had her shirt stuffed, so it looked like she was pregnant. Some chick was wasted and was super pissed that my wife was drinking while pregnant. Haha. Ivanka Trump and her father holding hands with fake cum stains in her hair and face. The guy with her had fake Trump hair that was kind of messy, as if they were fucking before, and Ivanka was holding a Forbes magazine and was wearing a shirt with a creepy photo of her childhood sitting on her father's lap. People gasped. My old co-worker dressed up as a slutty Adolf Hitler. Yup, tiny mustache, olive drab uniform top with red swastika armband, an extremely short olive drab skirt, fishnet stockings, black boots with stiletto heels, and an olive drab military hat. It was horrible. Unfortunately, she was hot and everyone kind of wanted to bang her, so. This wasn't necessarily a sexy costume, but it certainly raised eyebrows because a friend of mine and his roommate dressed as the Twin Towers for Halloween when we were in college. They were made out of cardboard and were supposed to look like after the planes hit. Both of them smoked cigarettes while wearing them so they could blow smoke out, and his roommate had action figures hanging by strings, so it looked like they were falling. After about an hour of wearing the costumes they realized they went too far and both changed into something else. I worked at a brokerage firm back in 2002 when the post 9/11 tech bubble market had gone all to hell, like down 40 or 50%. One of the admins came to work as a beauty queen. Her sash said, Ms. Nasdaq. She wore a torn sequined dress, run-laced stockings, had fake blood all over her, a black eye, a couple teeth blacked out, disheveled hair, and a broken tiara. I cannot explain why I found it so incredibly sexy. I guess because it fit her personality and sense of humor so well. I cannot for the life of me remember her name, but I sure as shit remember that costume. My work used to do a costume contest for Halloween every year. People always wore business appropriate costumes. Until one year a guy wore a skimpy and tight slutty Catwoman outfit with his ass and balls hanging out and dick outlined clearly. Then he threw a big fit when they wanted him to change. That was the last year they allowed costumes. I found a sexy can costume once in a knockoff Halloween store. It was a garbage can, obviously styled off those grey metal ones. The lid was a hat. The rim had sexy damage to show off boobs. This same sexy damage was spotted all over the costume to show off various patches of skin. The weirdest thing was the wig of fake noodles that came with it. A friend and I had a competition one year to see who could pull off the dumbest sexy costume. She made a mean sexy Dumbledore. Back in high school there was a girl that I knew who dressed up as Pikachu. She had a tail attached to her jeans and wore a yellow crop top. She had the ears and red cheeks. It was an interesting day to say the least. My dad once dressed as a priest and put what was supposed to be the tail to a sexy devil costume under the robe of his costume, so it looked like he had a huge red-tipped boner. He said he got some nasty looks from people walking down the street where all the bars were that Halloween night. And yes, he was completely wasted. A sexy fairy, which isn't weird, but the person wearing said costume was a 16-year-old pregnant girl. My wife and I went as Sexy Magic, the Gathering Mana to a Halloween party one year. We just hot glued mana cards to clothing. It wasn't even sexy clothing, but we told everyone we were sexy mana. She was blue mana, I was black mana, and throughout the party I'd elbow people, point at her, and say I'd tap that. Sexy crack whore is probably the trashiest costume I've ever seen. Come to think of it though, I was in Vegas on Halloween last year, and it might have been just a regular crack whore. Trash. She had crimped hair, green leopard print spandex dress, running mascara, was pregnant and smoking. Amazing costume, but by definition super trashy. My ex and I did white trash Frankenstein's Monster and Bride of Frankenstein. We found matching his and hers camo shorts at a thrift store, and I did the pregnant slash smoking slash drinking thing. He painted himself green and had a mullet wig. It was, in fact, pretty trashy and also fun. The guy wore a suit and combed his hair over. His fiancée wore your standard kitty cat ears, black tights, painted on nose and whiskers. They were Trump and the pussy. This happened during the whole grab her by the pussy debacle. Thanks for watching the video. For more content like this, please subscribe, like, and share the video and push the notification button.